Okay, so I'm gonna start this video by completely ignoring what's going on and actually referencing something from earlier on. Part 31 of Fate Stay Night. If you're watching this on Twitch, you may not know what that is. Part 31 is when we first meet Assassin. Oh, I should probably say hi everybody, Renegade67 and or 8 here with some more Let's Play Fate Stay Night. This is getting including the YouTube. I should make that distinction. Anyways, part 31, if you're on YouTube, you'll have a better idea of what that is. If you're on Twitch, it's the part where Assassin first shows up, aka Sasaki Kojiro. And more importantly though, see, part 31 just got uploaded to YouTube, and as it got uploaded to YouTube, I had to figure out what the title of the video was going to be and stuff, so I had to look through a bit of the video. I had to figure out what the description is. Anyways, even though I wasn't editing it, I had to look through it a little to remind myself what happened, to come up with a title and stuff. And as I was looking through it, something caught my attention that at the time I was not really thinking about, because we were amassed in an epic showdown between Saber and Assassin. But, Saber said something. Saber said, I haven't thought of anyone mysterious as the Archer from last time. Now, at the time, my thought was, oh, Archer, yeah, Archer is pretty mysterious with the amnesia and stuff. And then people in the chat are like, no, he means Archer from the last Grail War. Now, I think the impression you maybe are supposed to get is that she means Archer from this Grail War, because it would work, because like last time as in the last battle. But regardless, it doesn't matter what it really meant. Well, actually it does matter what it really meant. The point is, if what she meant is that she meant the Archer from the previous Grail War, that's significant, because up until now, this came first. Fate Zero came later. We live in a world where Fate Zero doesn't exist. In a world where Fate Zero doesn't exist, she specifically mentioned the Archer from the last Grail War. That stands out to me. Because, I mean, I've had these big thoughts about how Kirei is going to be some big, epic, final boss villain in the Fate Stay Night visual novel. But, like, Archer from last time, Archer from Fate Zero, yes, he's mysterious. However, in a world where Fate Zero does not exist, why does it matter? It's not some quick reference, which is something I have to keep reminding myself, that Fate Zero does not exist, theoretically. So this can't be some quick reference. It's the same thing why I thought, oh, when Rin said that there are two magic families, that can't be some quick reference. That's gotta mean something. And it did mean something. The Matos are the second family. So similarly, when Saber says the Archer from Fate Zero is mysterious, that can't be some quick reference. That has to mean Archer from Fate Zero is going to be relevant in some way. This leads me to two ideas. Maybe both will come true. Idea number one, there's going to be some big flashback. Now, I've kind of thought that might happen anyways. But, like, maybe when we get our wish come true and we go back to stop the fire, we end up running into the big fight between Kiritsugu and Kirei / Saber and Archer. And so we end up actually running into this Archer in the past. I don't know, that's one thought I've had. Or maybe Saber will just recount a big flashback or something. We have to learn some amount of decent details of Archer from Fate Zero. If we don't, there was no point to flagging him as mysterious. The other thought I've had is that maybe he will show up in Fate Stay Night? Now, I'm not so sure about this one, but there's a couple reasons that's swirling around in my head. Number one is that Saber may just retell all of Fate Zero. You're right, that's one option I've presented. But like the other option is what if Archer shows up? And the reason I say that, well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, it would be a link to Kirei, and I think Kirei has some big, great master plan. I think that might be an option, how he might be the ultimate final boss, not one of the 7 servants, but Kirei himself. And Archer would be a link to that, and he maybe Kirei would use Archer as a way to help fight the other 7, because, for one thing, if he did have access to Archer's powers, that would help him certainly fight servants, Kirei himself fighting servants, but also Archer himself would be a strong-ass servant. Now, where does this Archer come from? How is he still around? I'm not exactly sure on the details. It's just thoughts and theories. Maybe the fact that Saber came back from the Fate Zero Grail War may somehow line up with the Archer from last time showing up in some plot twist. Or like, gosh, because then there's another thought, actually. Would it even be a plot twist? Hold on, because when they sort of won in Fate Zero, Archer and Kirei didn't really seem to have a wish at the time. And Archer, I don't know. I wasn't entirely sure what his wish, or maybe I did know at a time what his wish was and I've forgotten. But was his wish may have been, in that case, somehow sticking around. And if it was, then he might still be around at the time of Fate's Day Night. These are just thoughts that are popping into my head because of narrative triggers. Like, she wouldn't have just said Archer from last time, as if, and if that is relevant. Anyways, enough of that. Or maybe Kirei, being the final boss, managed to hack the Holy Grail War to resummon the last Archer. That's another thing I've thought of. You know, if he hacks the Holy Grail, he could just summon the last Archer. That's a possibility. It has to be relevant, though. If it's true that she's referencing Archer from Fate Zero, that's going to lead to something. I mean, yeah, but it could just be a flashback. But the fact that Archer from the last Grade Zero is the one she calls out, and that Archer from the last Grail War relates to Kirei, makes me think that that's gonna all be tied in somehow. Because like, yeah, it can't just be a reference to Fate Zero. Fate Zero created itself as a prequel to Fate's Day Night, and I wasn't sure how much of Fate Zero was out of its butt and how much was just doing what it had to do because of Fate's Day Night. But it seems if Kirei has the importance I'm assuming he did, then the whole Archer thing may have been predetermined due to important plot twists in this game. Maybe. Anyways, do you want this? It's cheap, though. What is that? Food? But yeah, also, some of you guys were shaming me in the last stream about how, freaking liking Illya's feel is like a lolly thing and how I shouldn't smooch the lolly. And I'm like, first of all, they'll eventually become 18 and won't be in a lolly anymore. Second of all, the more I thought about it, I don't even care for lollies much. I'm not really a lolly person. I think the fact that she's a lolly is coincidental. I like her because I like the bad girls. But also, I like crazy characters, just in general. Even if she's not outwardly trying to kill me now, the fact that she was so willing to switch on a dime shows the craziness. I like her because of her craziness. Her being a lolly is second fiddle. Anyways, we're treating you like Inu. Inuyasha? Or like Inu Hanyu? I'm so confused. Oh, I get it, like how we say don't smooch a ghost, and you're telling me not to smooch. You see, that it's only funny when I make fun of someone else in my chat. It's not funny when you guys make fun of me. It's not funny for me. Oh god, I feel terrible now. Is this how Inu feels the whole time? No, it's okay. It's fine, I get it. It's fine. We all have our own tastes. Some people like smooching ghosts, some people like smooching lollies. Coincidentally, not because they're lollies, they just happen to be lollies. It's a difference. Well, maybe it's not a difference. Anyways, I'm not sure what Inu's thought process is exactly. Do you want this? It's cheap though. Huh? What is this? Food?
そうだよ。甘いのは好きじゃないけど、これだけは別だ。うちは親子ともどもお茶受けはこいつなんだ。
That's right, I don't like sweets, but this is an exception. This is the snack my father and I always have with tea. Ooh, tea! So I can have it? Yes, you can, because if I don't give it to you, you'll probably kill me now. I like seeing Shiro smooch people. I personally don't want to smooch any of these teenage girls Ghost King. Wait, well, they're all teenage though. They're gonna grow up and not be Wait, hold on. I personally don't want to smooch. Oh, I like seeing Shiro smooch. Well, when I say I want to smooch, I mean Shiro smooch. Or, you know, in the fan fiction version where they become 18 and they're aged up, then it's okay to smooch. But anyways, of course when I say I want to smooch, I mean Shiro doing the smooching. Gosh. Anyways, so I can have it?
やる。一人で食ってもうまくないから、二人で食おう。
Yeah, it's no good if I eat by myself, so let's eat together. I hand her the dorayaki. You are not Shiro. I am going to insert myself into Shiro even if I'm not supposed to. It just has to happen. Freaking when I played Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, the main character is a girl. I still inserted myself into the main character because that's just how I am. That's just how I play games. When there's a main character, I refer to myself as the main character even when it makes no sense. Because I get invested in the story, okay? I am the character. That's why I don't like self-inserts. I prefer interesting main characters because I self-insert myself even when they're nothing like me. Even when they're super, super descriptive of what the character is. Even if that character is nothing like me, I still self-insert myself. That's just how I do games. So boring self-inserts bore me because I'm able to self-insert myself even when they're not boring. It's no good if I eat by myself, so let's eat together. I hand her the dorayaki. Dorayaki. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick Google search. I gotta up my weeb levels. I didn't up my weeb levels enough with the Doki Doki title. Yasashi senpai tachi ni natte kudasai, by the way. Dorayaki. Ooh, dorayaki. Oh, so it's a type of confetti. Nice. Ooh, that looks nice. Interesting. Ooh, and it's got some kanji associated. Okay. Dorayaki. Ooh. What does that kanji stand for? Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold everything. No, copy and paste, god damn it. Oh, wait. Oh, I know this. Go to G-Show. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'll do this later. Abort. I'm going to insert myself into Shiro. No, I'm going to insert myself into other people through Shiro. Shiro is a vessel. Okay, so the ya in dorayaki has kanji. I have to learn it. What is that Garfield emote? Usage Judge. Is that an everybody emote? Or is that a you emote? Speaking of that, Funky Knight, where's your special emotes, man? What are they? Show off some of them if you have them yet. If you don't, oh, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. But if you do, then that'd be cool. Anyways, it's no good if I eat by myself. So let's eat together. I hand her the dorayaki. Illya hesitates and then takes the Japanese snack that I'm sure she's never seen before. Wait. Oh, yeah, right, because she's like German or something. Yeah, thanks! Okay, that is cute. It's all the more cute because she's actually crazy. So that's a double blush because she got the red lines on her face, but she's also got the actual blush. It's a double blush, a double whammy blush. Still working on that. The Garfield one is from another streamer. Oh, it's a sub? Isn't that cheating? I'm sorry, that seems like cheating to me. You can't take... I've seen other people do that, and I'm like, is that allowed? You're just taking a thing from an existing work and making that into one of your emotes? It just seems odd to me, like an odd choice. Like when I get my own emotes, I mean, I guess if it's based on something you tend to stream, I suppose I could make an emote that's related to Shiro being a stupid, but even then, like, it feels... I'm not sure. It feels weird. I don't know. I know you personally haven't done that, at least not yet. Not yet. I'll get to criticize you later. But, thanks! She eats it happily. Her gestures are so enthusiastic that the expression stuffing her cheeks fits perfectly. I eat my dorayaki as well and endure the shock that attacked the back of my head. Hashtag not yet. Don't worry, I'll make fun of you and your silly emotes later. And you can make fun of mine too! Hashtag not yet. Two more followers! Ah! Wait, endure the shock that attacked the back of my head? I'm sorry, which part attacked the back of your head? Hashtag I'm bad at reading visual novels. So enthusiastic that the expression stuffing her cheeks fits perfectly. Wait, so did you just get attacked in the back of the head and you're about to die? Or do you mean like your brain got like a brain freeze from eating dorayaki? Is that how dorayaki work? Or do you mean your brain got like a brain freeze because emotions? Fate emotes when? Well, first of all, I've got to get the 50 followers and become a fancy affiliate, and then I can get some fancy emotes. Probably at least one of them be related to Fate. But if I do one that's related to Fate, it's gotta be fresh. It can't just be insert character's face here. Anyways, jeez. She was just shocked the girl who almost killed him is acting too cute. Look, Shiro needs to broaden his horizons. She's acting exactly like a normal good girl should. It's kind of funny, actually, when you think about it. Shiro all this time has had such a idea of what females should be like. And then the first time she sees a girl that kind of... Okay, this isn't entirely true, but the first time she sees a girl that really defies her ideas is with Illya, because she thinks, wait, supervillains are guys. Girls can't be supervillains. So when she sees Illya as a supervillain, it doesn't compute. But now she's actually acting like the perfect picturesque girl in his mind. And yet she was the first time that he actually thought about a girl as not a picturesque girl. It's very jarring, which is interesting. It's come full circle. Why was I thinking it might be nice to have a smaller sister like this? That's funny because she is, but like it's okay because no chromos. You can still do the smacks. I mean, not yet because that's grody. Wait till you're 18, then you do the smacks. For now, you just do kissy and touchy. But really, I think Illya's too innocent. I mean, would you rather she goes back to killing you and be too... I mean, that's still innocent, a different kind of innocent. I'd argue you're too innocent, though, but a different kind of innocent. It all depends on the type of innocent you're referring to. You're too innocent to the Grail War. She's not at all innocent to the Grail War. She's innocent to normal stuff. So you can complete each other, you know? I mean, you were sort of going to do that with Rin, but I mean, that's not really working out, is it? Anyways, this girl might really be a child who doesn't yet know the difference between good and evil. I don't think it's that simple. I think she knows, she just doesn't care. I think that's where my mind is going instead. Is that she knows the difference, she just doesn't find it too relevant. And then maybe started to think that it was more relevant when she saw you get hurt and was like, oh no, I don't want this to happen. But that was more specifically about you, I think, than it was about her opinions on good and evil. I can barely imagine how a child born in a family of magi is raised. Well, did you even try with Rin? Because Rin is also a family of magi. Not quite to the extent of Einsburn, but she's still in a pretty strict family of magi, so maybe try thinking about that for once, Shiro. Given that you're cooperating with one. But still, I can tell that the environment Illya was raised in wasn't normal. Neither was Rin's, although I guess that's not as readily apparent. It's only with someone like Illya who's so juxtaposed that you actually bother thinking about this stuff. That you actually realize that there's thinking to be done. Tosaka is like that, yes, but she's a magus by nature from the core. She's accepted the Holy Grail War and the killings between masters as murder. I don't think it's that simple. Accepted the Holy Grail War. I mean, the Holy Grail War is still basically all she's about. I mean, she's a magus by nature from the core. She doesn't want to be. She hates fucking magic, and yet she feels she has to. She's very, like, fucked up. In a certain perspective, more fucked up than Illya. I mean, not really. It really depends on perspective. I'd say objectively, no, Ilya's worse, but much stronger poker face and pretending to be normal. I mean, yeah, but there's layers, man. They're both layered. I think they are parallels. Rin and Illya are something of parallels. They have similar situations, but they're different, which has fucked them up in different ways, but they're both undeniably fucked. And arguably, Rin's situation is worse since Illya's situation is more noticeable and easier to potentially save, whereas Rin is more nuanced. Maybe this girl became a master without knowing what it means to kill someone. I mean, technically, sort of you did too. I mean, you became a master without knowing what it means to be a master, so. I've only talked a bit with her, but I don't think Illya is a girl that would want to kill others. I mean, she really wanted to, you know, well, technically she didn't want to kill you in the other pathway. She just got you down till you were ahead. But, I think she has a lot of pent-up rage from her childhood and her upbringing, but I don't think that she doesn't understand the concept. So, Takara.
Illya, 真面目な話なんだが。
Illya, this is a serious subject, but then, oh no, she doesn't want serious. She wants to be playing. She hates the idea of serious. Illya suddenly raises her head as if called by someone. Oh no, what is it? What? What's happening? You don't want serious, or is this irrelevant to what I'm saying?
イリア、どうした？
Illya, what's wrong? Oh, are you being called by your maids?
もう帰らないと。バーサーカーが起きちゃった。
Oh, okay. I have to go. Berserker woke up. Berserker woke up? Your Berserker sleeps? Does Berserker have to sleep? Hold on. Is this related to how you control Berserker so easily? Berserker woke up. So your Berserker was sleeping. That's interesting. Because I feel like the only reason Saber sleeps is to preserve her energy, where technically she shouldn't need to. Although, are you in the same boat? Oh my gosh. Are you in the same boat? Does Berserker have a limited power supply because you only have weird magic? You don't have normal magic? Which means not only can you not make Berserker invisible, but he is also slowly draining magic? Which means he also needs to sleep? But like, you don't really control... Maybe. Alternatively, his sleep is related to how you have perfect control over him. Maybe. Possibly, maybe. Even killing Herc when he's asleep sounds hard. I mean, he's so freaking muscly that probably if you try to stab in his neck, the freaking knife would break. Anyway, she jumps off the bench. Illya runs out of the park without saying goodbye and disappears in a blink of an eye. Of course, for a servant, it would probably be not too much of a trouble to kill him in his sleep. Depending, though, like, would he... How deep is the sleep? Would he notice... Would he, like, notice if someone was stepping by? How light or deep of a sleeper is Herc? Does it say that in his bio? Not gonna check. Too lazy. To be fair, I have to get back to Saber, so... I get back to the house. I mean, okay, that did not end in the most favorable outcome. Because even though we had a fun chat with Illya, there was no decisive, hey, so let's just be friends for the rest of the Grail War, which makes things awkward. Also, what do we say to Rin and Saber? Do we say, let's just not, because awkward? Or do we not say anything? Or do we go up and say, hey, do you guys want to hang out? Do you guys want to be friends with Illya? I know that's weird, but no, maybe we shouldn't say that. Okay, a shamer assassin isn't that much of one. I'm sorry, what? Oh, much of an assassin, right, because, you know, he likes to announce himself. He's not the best at being an assassin. He's a great fighter, but, like, you know, he was kind of awkwardly thrust into that role. Telling Rin about a potential partnership with Illya would be a bad move, because the entire reason she wanted to work with Shiro in the first place was because of Illya and Berserker. If Rin thinks that Berserker is a non-threat, or that Berserker, worse, may team up with Shiro and Saber, she may just try to shank Shiro and Saber. Now, I think she would go about it in an honorable way. I don't think she would... Shank implies backstabbing. I don't think she'd do that. I think she would be like, oh, I guess we're just gonna start fighting now, and probably leave, and next time she meets us, just fight us. Which I don't want. I don't think we want that yet, so we should not say to her... Granted, there's still the blood crest at the school and whatever's going on at the temple. Those are both still real things, but it's true that she started this whole thing because of Illya and Berserker. So, now, I don't know if that was an excuse, and she just wanted to be partners with us all along. Maybe that is the truth. However, it's still sketchy and a little early to tell her about Illya and Berserker, I think, because that would uproot the entire, at least, said reason for our partnership, which I don't want, at least not when it's not even a solid partnership. It's very iffy with Illya and Berserker right now. We haven't even established anything firm yet. I decide not to mention that I met Illya. I think that's for the best. But, yeah. Yeah, I just think it's for the best. Then again, how long will that last where your emotions are concerned? We'll see. I know it's something that I should tell her about right away. No, it's not. But I still don't want to tell her about it. No, it's not. You shouldn't tell her. If you thought it through, I mean, there's a couple different conclusions to come to. But the one I've come to is that telling her is the wrong idea. You just haven't even bothered thinking and assume it's the right thing but don't want to because of your emotions. When really I think the emotions are the things to fear in terms of telling her when maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Debatable. I will admit that there's a debate to be made. I still don't want to tell her about it. The Illya I met at the park wasn't a master. I talked with Illya about trifling matters, and we parted in a trifling manner as well. So I'm hesitant to tell others about what happened today. It's true that she was very trusting. She told you stuff like Berserker is sleeping, and I live over there. Very, very, way too trusting. And, like, betraying that trust, if we really want to take her out of the Grail War, is a practical way to do it. But, like, getting her as an ally would also be really nice. And then there's the moral side of maybe just don't be a bad person. Which, it depends. Debatable. Technically, we don't know she killed us in an alternate timeline, so... I mean, she didn't kill us. It was worse. She tortured us by keeping us as a head, which is pretty nasty. But, you know, she's innocent. She's cute. I feel guilty since it's like I'm hiding something from them. Oh, you totally are, but you should. But I don't want to think of the Illya I met today as my enemy. Well, I mean, even if you meet Illya tomorrow as your enemy, that doesn't mean they're a different person suddenly. Thinking in black and whites is not a good, Shiro. It's not a good... After eating lunch with Saber, we continue to train at the dojo, and before I know it, it's time for dinner already. Have you done any magic training yet, or just sword training? I guess still sword training. When does magic happen? After... Maybe it happens at night. I rest my tired body and take a bath to wash my sweat off. And when I go to the living room, dinner is prepared. Itadakimasu! So, wait, Rin made it? How does this work again? It's because Sakura's not here. I'm a bit moved. By who? It's nice having dinner ready without me doing anything when I come out of the bath. Well, I mean, considering you're going to be making all the breakfasts, it's only fair. And I mean, we are doing half and half. To be fair, this is a point in Rin's favor that she's not just, you know, like the fact that she's still making dinners shows that I guess she still wants to show something to Shiro, and yet she also wants to be shown, which shows a very big closeness and may make her feel awkward, not just in terms of Grail War, but in terms of emotions. If I say I want to partner with Illya, because it's another real potential threat. Like, you know, it's not like Saber where ghost smooching, who cares? It's like, you know, and she doesn't know that Chromo isn't an issue, but it's their siblings by not Chromo, but she doesn't know that, and so she may think of her as a real issue. So, you know.
エミヤ君、夕食だけど。何よ、バカみたいに立ち尽くして。
She called him Emiya-kun. Triggered. Why did she call him Emiya-kun? Maybe it's because all he's been doing is training with Saber, and it feels untrue to her. And her Emiya-kun, her Shiro, wouldn't be a Saber. It would be a Rin thing, not a Saber thing. And therefore, that's why she's referring to him as Emiya-kun. It's dinner time. What are you doing standing there like an idiot? Baka? Demo, but Kashwa. Why does she have to say something that totally destroys the moment? Because it's in her character. Haven't you read her descriptors? You know, this is how the scene was set up, man.
なんでもない。夕食だろ。ありがたくいただくよ。
Nothing.
セイバーは
Dinner, right? I'll eat it gratefully. Where's Saber? Did he say itadakimasu, yo? Like a spin on itadakimasu? Or am I crazy? Might be crazy. Or it could be a word that sounds very similar and I'm not crazy. It's just the Japanese language is so overlapping. Where's the kanji? The confusing kanji that makes it clear. That's always the thing though. You can't read the kanji, but if there was no kanji, it wouldn't be clear what it was a lot of the time. Unless you put spaces in the words. Even then, you'd still have to do some deciphering.
セーバーさんならシロの部屋に行ったみたいだけど、会わなかった？おかしいな。さっきまでここにいたけど。
If we ever get Shiro as an enemy, she's just gonna call Shiro Emiya. Probably. If Rin ever thinks of Shiro as an enemy, because Shiro is her Shiro. Shiro is her for Shiro her. But if Shiro stops being her Shiro, then it'll just be Emiya. Is most likely what's gonna happen. Makes sense to me. I guess Saber-san went to Shiro's room. Didn't you see her? That's weird. She was here until a second ago. Possibly because she had a cat fight with Rin, which is why Rin now called Shiro Emiya. Or she's just tired from today's workout. She used up a lot of energy, and so she wants to get more rest than normal.
旅館みたいに入り組んだ家だからすれ違ったんじゃない？いいわ。セイバーは私が呼んでくるから。 エミヤくんはもう一度洗面所に行ってきなさい。
Maybe she'll eat dinner when she wakes
よく
up.
乾いてないわよ。
She doesn't need to eat with everyone all the time. Sometimes it's distracting, you know. Maybe you two missed each other since this place is as complicated as a hotel. Alright, I'll go get Saber so you should go to the bathroom again. Bathroom again, which means get naked. Your hair isn't completely dry yet. Okay. But, like, maybe she is doing something for a reason. Then again, she, you know, I mean, she's a servant. I mean, I guess, to be fair, Taiga wouldn't know that. But, like, she's a servant. Rin would probably know that if she's doing a thing, she's doing a thing for a reason. If she's caught up in something, it's probably huge. So it's probably something, either it's nothing at all and it's whatever she's doing is let her do it, I think. Or it's something huge. In which case, wouldn't we have known something because of the boundary field going beep, beep, beep?
本当だ。悪い。それじゃあセイバーは任せた。
That seems so backwards. Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'll leave Saber to you. Yes, I'll leave my servant to you. The Rin-Saber pairing is becoming more and more real. I waved my hand to Tosaka and returned to the hallway. Oh, and wait. Oh, he goes back to the bathroom to make himself more presentable because Rin doesn't like his unpresentableness. I kind of glossed over that, but husbando waifu much? Like, yeah, your hair isn't dried yet. You want to make yourself look a little more presentable to me, personally? As Tosaka said, the Emiya house has many paths because of the aimless reconstruction. Seems neat to me. I like mazy hallways. It would make hide and seek neat if you ever had, you know, kids with Rin. You had kids, it would be some nice hide and seek. I mean, you could also have kids with Illya, but that would be a little weird, but, you know, not too weird. There's no chromo after all. And that way, your kids would have only one grandfather. Well, technically they would have two, but like we don't talk about Shiro's other parents anymore. We just don't talk about them. Mostly because Shiro's told us nothing about them. The worst one is the route to the bathroom, and it really is like a hotel because you can get there from my room or from the living room. From your room specifically, giggity, bubba chicka wugga chigga. Insert, you know, I made that joke at some point, and I'm trying to keep it alive. No, I just remembered it, so I thought I'd bring it up. Hubba chigga wugga chigga, or whatever it was. I entered the bathroom, the potty. I don't like hair dry, so I'll use the towel I used before. I didn't quite think it was going in this direction, but it makes sense now that it's gone in this direction. Because she was also sweaty from training, so she also had to do it, but she didn't want to inconvenience me, so she waited till I had done it, so... Oh, and this is the censored version. Oh gosh, and I love that they're well. Technically, the censored version is better because it lets the imagination run wild. The uncensored version would probably take off the towel or whatever, and then it's just boring when you see it. It's better to think about it. Oh, nice. It's a ghost. The ghost is the first one I'm getting to be all pervy about, but like, it's okay because that's a hot pose. It doesn't matter you're a ghost. I can just pretend you're Illya. No. She looks nice, but what does she look like with her hair down for once? This would have been the perfect time to show it. You know, when she's in the shower. I doubt she would take a shower with her hair like that, unless she's just getting out of the shower. That's why she has the towel on. So that means she did her hair up before. I guess maybe that's a thing that she's so used to keeping up the boy appearance that's the first thing she does instinctively is does up the hair. Maybe, or she feels like that's the servant thing. That's the proper servant thing. So that's the first thing she does after getting out of the shower before anything else, because she doesn't want to look so like this. Anyways, though, insert sexual scene. Let's go. In an instant. Oh, it wasn't an instant. I let that go on for a long time. We can all pretend it was in our heads, though. Is Twitch getting this? Is Twitch getting this? No drop frames. Yes, this will be the worst time. Our sexual fantasies must all be realized. Oh, I forgot to make a save point on that screen. Damn. I forget everything that happened today. Okay, Shiro, now contain yourself. Contain yourself. Now, the polite thing to do, Shiro, is to walk away and close the door. Or, you know what? She is your servant after all. She's supposed to serve you. Also, she seems extremely polite, so I think it would be... If this was Rin or something, she would likely be like, how dare you, and throw a million things at you. But because it's Saber, this is probably the best case scenario of her not trying to, you know, kill you for something stupid. Because after all, if you die, then she loses the Grail War. Oh, I'm being too dirty. You shouldn't abuse your power that way, Shiro. Only, you know... Only you should do it the proud way, as in peep on someone who you can't abuse, and that way, you know, if they just let you peep on them, then it's not fair anymore. You're breaking the rules. I mean, unless, you know, you already succeeded in making them your proper waifu. But this would be unfair in the sense that they're my servant, and that would be abusing their role as my servant. It's different if they're your waifu, and they actually let you do it because they're your waifu. But what I'm saying is you don't have a proper waifu. The best thing is to peep on people who, you know, aren't letting you do it because of some unhealthy relationship that shouldn't allow it, but like does by circumstance. But, you know, you shouldn't abuse that because that's cruel. What I'm saying is be a healthy pervert.
Shiro.
Okay, now I can make a save point. We'll put it, where's the 69th page? Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's 20 on each page. 40... 60, oh my god, it's going to work out perfectly. 61, almost, 2, 3, 4, 5, 66, 67, 68. This is 69. Boom, 69. 69, funny joke. E.g. incest student and teacher. I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, incest and student teacher is weird, but it's not incest, no chromo. Anyways, Shiro.
二度湯のようですが、今は私が使っています。できれば遠慮してもらえると助かるのですが。
It seems you are here to take a bath again, but I am using it at the moment. It would be helpful if you could reserve yourself for now. You're right, it's wrong of me, I shouldn't be here. I will politely leave, and thank you for being polite about it. To be fair, you kind of have to be because you're my servant. I would be gladder if this was someone else and they also responded the same way. Because I'm sick of that trope, by the way. I'm sick of the trope of the guy barging in on the girl and then the girl being like, ah! And then, I mean, yes, it's fine for the girl to freak out. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the girl freaking out. What I mind is when they get, like, stupidly physical, like throwing all of the things, what should legitimately cause legitimate harm to the guy, as if that's not a problem. And it being funny, but like the guy being fine later and just joking about it. And oh, it's so funny. But of course, if the girl, it's the same thing about my whole problem with the abuse thing. If the girl sees the guy, it's not okay for the guy to hurt the girl. They never do that. I don't know. I have a double standard issue with that whole thing. But anyways, yeah. So one of my favorite shows, which isn't my favorite show because of this, but this really stuck out to me. Physical abuse, slapstick, haha. One of my favorite shows that this stuck out to me is Tower of Druaga, which is based on a game, I think, but I didn't know that when I watched it. The first episode is one of my favorite first episodes in history, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the show, really. But it has a shower scene like this and has the guy walking in on the girl, and the girl doesn't freak out, and I was sold. And like that, when I saw that, I'm like, I'm in. And I ended up really liking the show, and that's not like a huge part or anything, but that stood out to me, and I still remember it. And I don't know, that just, especially at the time, because Tower of Druaga is not that new. Even when I watched it, it wasn't that new, and yet it's still, to me, that feels ahead of its time. That feels like they knew it was going to be annoying, and they broke the mold in advance. But anyways, it'd be helpful if you could reserve yourself for now. I have to explain. No, you don't. Just walk out. Don't make it more awkward. I have to explain to her that this is an accident, but my head is totally blank. Then explain to her later. Don't be rude by staying in the room and explaining to her while you're still seeing her nude. You can wait till she's fully clothed and then explain like rational beings. The thing is, they could totally do a Saber beats the shit out of Shiro scene here if they wanted, and her saying it's just additional training. They could, and they don't, and I respect that greatly, because it would be very out of character for Shiro to freak out like that, because she could do that, and they could justify it as her saying, oh, it's additional training. But that to me would feel out of character, because she's been built up as being extremely lawful. To the most part, she did break, for the sake of her own, wanting to do a fight, but this isn't really relevant to that. And she, her training Shiro would be purposely training Shiro. She wouldn't go do this and then say, oh, it's training. She might make that as an excuse that it's training to cover the fact that she's starting to like Shiro. However, I don't think she's liking him to that point and also liking him in that way. But I could see them doing that, and they would play it off as, oh, this is sort of writing that Saber's starting to like Shiro, and she's just excusing it as training, and really she's starting to like him and is reacting in a weird, uncomfortable way. But I'm glad that they don't, because it's so trite. Maybe it wasn't as trite back then, but I'm still glad that they don't in hindsight. Anyways, my head is totally blank. It's also Saber is the first girl they do this with. They could have easily done it with Rin and gotten away with that scene, because that would be so in character for Rin. But they chose to do it with Saber and have that not happen, which I respect. Because, I mean, hell, maybe this will happen with every girl once. But if that does happen, I'm glad they chose to do it with the character first, who does not react that way, because that's so trite, at least at this point. I'm not sure how trite it was back in, when did this visual novel come out? 2000 something? It was probably still kind of trite back then, if I'm being honest. After all, this had enough impact to make me forget everything that happened today. Yeah, this was your... I mean, honestly, though, you have to train yourself to be ready, because this could be a legitimate fighting tactic. And it is in some societies. There's some groups that, what is it? My Shiranui, I think, is based off the idea that you're supposed to, female ninjas or something. There's something about this, either from Mortal Kombat or something, where they say the whole reason that they wear scantily clad clothing is to make the males lose their, lose their cool because, sex. And it works. And they do it on purpose. And so... I don't know if anyone's going to do that in this visual novel, but theoretically they could, and Shiro should be ready to get used to the sexualness and, not to be arsed. This ain't a harem VN. Oh, wait, it is! But yeah, Shiro, even, legitimately, you should be prepared for this. This is fight time, and there are girls in the Grail War that could totally do that if they wanted to, and you should be ready to not, because this is legitimately a really effective tactic, because some boys just are not used to it, and it drives them bonkers. Maybe we should start training like this, if I'm being honest. Saber, start showing me this until I get used to it and I don't freak out. Because until I don't freak out, it's a legitimate fear that someone like Illya, or if there's another female like Ryder, for example, could legitimately try to fight me by being nude, because it may not, hamper them too much. And it legitimately can fuck with people. It's a legitimate tactic historically, and it works. So Shiro, maybe you should train yourself to get over this. And that's definitely not me trying to find more reasons for this game to show more sexual scenes because I am a pervert. I mean, it is, but I have reasoning. Kiritsugu didn't train him for this. Sex! But also, Saber! And I'm totally not just coming up with more things to say on this screen to save it to the spank bank for later. I mean, after all, I don't need to. I can always load it up. Yeah.
シロ、湯にのぼせたのですか？耳まで真っ赤ですが、体を冷やすのなら縁側に出るべきです。
Shiro, have you been in the bath too long? Even your ears are red. If you'd like to cool down, you should go to the porch. I love this is totally coincidental timing. I love that this is totally coincidental because the whole YouTube thing has been going on about how you want to make sure your content isn't for kids, which my content already isn't. I say the fuck word enough. And I already make sexual enough jokes, but I made a joke in my Discord about how maybe to be sure that people know that my content isn't for kids, I should be making my content even more sexual. And coincidentally, this happened to happen. The first sort of sexual-ish scene happens today. Just after talking about that on the weekend. That's pretty funny timing.
そうするけど、その前に謝らないとまずい。
Yeah, I'll do so, but I have to apologize first. You can wait to apologize till after, the hormones have left you. I look away from Saber and calm my pounding heart. Yes, that's the first step. Look away, apologize, then politely exit the room. And as long as she doesn't politely try to attack you back, you're all good. Now, if she does try to attack you back, then I'd say, fair game is fair game. You should peep on her in the future, because at that point... But if she doesn't try to attack you back, then peeping on her in the future is just rude. If she politely, lets you walk out understanding there was a misunderstanding, then peeping on her in future would just be rude because it's too easy, because she doesn't, fight back. I mean, what? That could be taken in very weird ways, but maybe it should be taken in very weird ways. I'm a pervert. But I'm a pervert with a code. This was an accident. No, I can't ask you to forgive me from the moment we met like this. So you can't... Wait, this was an accident. No, I can't ask you to forgive me from the moment we met like this. So you can get angry at me. No, she shouldn't get angry at you. It was an accident. So walk out the door. If you stay here any longer, then she has a right to get angry at you. She's not going to because she's a servant, and I don't think she comprehends. She's still just learning that she maybe has feelings for you. She's not at this level. What you should do politely is walk out because it is a legitimate accident, and therefore she shouldn't get mad at you. Now, I can understand some characters flipping out, in the moment and getting mad, but getting mad doesn't mean throwing things and getting that violent. Ellipses, dash, dash, dash. Question mark? I say so while trying to look down and calming myself the best I can. Saber thinks for a while. So you stay here for a while? Are your eyes closed? I guess they are. Shiro, please raise your head. Go back to looking at me naked. What, did you think about the whole thing, what I was saying earlier about how we should train Shiro to get used to the naked women in case we fight any women that decide to use that as a tactic? Yeah. I raise my head as she tells me to. Open your eyes. And now she's fully naked. Oh, God. Wait, why are you still like that? What, did you think she magicked her clothes back on? シロが謝るほどのことではありませんから。このような場面を見たところで、気にする必要はないと言いたいのです。It is nothing you should apologize for. I would like to say that there is nothing you should be worried about just from seeing something like this. It's the thought that counts, though. You look like a naked girl, even if you're actually a ghost who's 1,000,000 years old, and therefore it doesn't really matter. But you look like one, and it's Shiro's dirty mind thought that counts. Or something. So that's why he needs to not do this, I guess, potentially. Also, it's too abusive. Like, I don't know. There's something wrong with Saber being okay with it, and because Saber's okay with it, and but Shiro would know better. That's the thing. If Shiro didn't know better, but he does, because it's two wrongs can make a right. Like, if Shiro didn't know that it wasn't okay, and Saber didn't know that it wasn't okay, then I think it would be okay for Shiro to look at Saber's naked body because it made him feel better, just because, and if they were both okay with it and didn't know why that wasn't considered okay, then I wouldn't mind it. But if Saber doesn't comprehend the unokayness, and Shiro does, and Shiro takes advantage of the fact that Saber doesn't know, that's wrong on certain levels. But Shiro is teenage boy going through puberty. But, because that's the thing, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I was in this situation and Saber was okay with it, I might be somewhat okay with it to an extent, but only for a little bit. Because after a certain point, it just loses, I don't know, it's like, it is wrong, but like, is it a victimist crime? No, the victim is yourself, because because after this Grail War, the victim is yourself. That's the problem with this situation. Because if Shiro decided to be okay with it, he may get disgusting expectations and get used to just, taking gross advantage of Saber. And if he could keep that up in perpetuity, then maybe that's fine as long as Saber's okay with it. However, he can't keep that up in perpetuity because the Grail War is going to end and Saber's going away, and that may create disgusting habits in him where he then pursues those with other people that are not okay with it. And that's why it's wrong. Yeah, okay, I had to justify that for myself because I'm a pervert. And I was starting to think, well, maybe if she's okay with it. Anyways. What's this? Nani?
以前にも言ったでしょ。サーバントにとって性別などさまつなことだと。
I've told you before, the servant's gender is meaningless. I don't think it's meaningless to Shiro, even if it's meaningless to you.
シロは私の体を見て慌てているようですが、私は女性である前にサーバントです。ですから、そのような気遣いは不要かと。
It seems you are in a panic because you saw my body, but I am a servant before I'm a woman, so I believe such consideration is unnecessary. What in the world is this? It's Lewd Fate Stay Night, Dengalo. Are you unfamiliar with the Fate Stay Night? Dengalo, do you follow me? I feel like I recognize that name. You might have been one of my earlier followers. I don't know, maybe I'm, I apologize if you're not, and I just may put you in an awkward position. But it's Fate Stay Night. It's a lewd scene where Shiro walked on her, in the shower. But it's okay because she's not a real girl. She's a ghost, therefore it's okay. That's how they excuse it. Just like how in Fire Emblem they're like, oh, it's a dragon girl, so it's okay. She's actually 1,000 years old. Yeah, I thought I recognized that name. But yes, this is Lewd Stay Night. We're playing Lewd Stay Night right now. It's not always lewd, it only is right now. The servant's gender is meaningless. It seems you are in a panic because you saw my body, but I am a servant before I am a woman. So I believe such consideration is unnecessary. Yeah, you're not wrong, and I think I would agree with you in most circumstances. However, this is a circumstance where Shiro has hormones, and you look like a female girl of the correct age that would give Shiro the big boner. Therefore, there is something wrong with it on a certain level that it may give Shiro improper expectations if he doesn't treat this in a respectful manner. That's the problem, because you won't be here forever for him to ogle pervertedly. Unless we win the Grail War and your wish is to just stay here, in which case then it becomes okay. But we'll wait till then to be a pervert. What? Nandesu? What is she saying? No, even if Saber herself says that, it doesn't change the fact that she's a girl. Or could it be? I have an idea, but is it true? Which idea? How dirty is it?
聞くけど、着替え中を見られても恥ずかしくないって言うんじゃないだろうな。
I'll ask, but don't tell me you're not embarrassed by people seeing you changing. Okay, two things to that. First of all, just because she's not embarrassed by other people seeing her changing doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. Society brings up girls to not want that, and I understand why. It's not like... It's true that there's a reason to not want people to see your boobs or your wang. There is a reason for people to not want to see your cleavage or your penile area, for sure, because it creates gross urges. It's not like the reasoning isn't there. However, I feel like just because a girl is okay with other people seeing them changing, or a guy is okay with other people seeing them changing, doesn't mean that, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It just means they don't go along with normal societal expectations. Now, there's a difference between going over your way to watch someone changing and they aren't too offended because they realize... Anyways, it's complicated. The ethics of changing and whether or not it's morally okay to watch someone while they're changing is a complicated facet. Maybe not quite as complicated as what makes a good person good, but there are still layers. Don't tell me you're embarrassed by people not embarrassed by people seeing you changing.
なぜ恥じる必要があるのです。
Why would I need to be embarrassed? It's not you, it's Shiro. He has hormonal problems. That's why you need to be embarrassed, for Shiro's sake, not for your sake. There's nothing wrong with you not thinking anything of it, honestly. As long as you understand that there's something wrong with them not thinking anything of it, and therefore you should avoid changing in front of them, because that will fuck them up. generally speaking. Dash. I thought so. But even if she doesn't care, I'll definitely go insane. So stop looking, close your eyes, and exit, man, if you care this much. But of course you can't. When you're given this much free revenue, she's not throwing anything at you, she's not getting mad at you. She probably should, but she's not. So you want to keep looking. You know you do, but you know you shouldn't. You know you shouldn't, but you know you want to. Ooh, the dilemma. But seriously, though, be a polite gentleman eventually and walk away. I think you've saved it to the spank bank long enough. You can walk away now, Shiro.
悪かった。とにかく謝る。次にこんなことがあったら、セイバーの好きにしていい。
I'm sorry. Anyways, instead of actually walking away, which is what would really fix the problem, I'm just gonna stand here apologizing and wasting time apologizing, which keeps letting me look at you, which accentuates the problem, assuming that a problem exists. Now, if the problem doesn't exist, then it doesn't matter. But I'm saying that there's a problem, which means the problem would be resolved by me not looking at you anymore, thus walking away. But I'm still looking at you while saying this. Therefore, you know... Everyone's a little bit... The song is racist, but hypocritical sometimes. If anything like this happens again, you can do what you want with me. Bound chicka bound bound. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm going to apologize. If anything like this happens again, you can do what you want with me. Awkwardly, I turn around 180 degrees and exit the dressing room. Awkwardly. Saber looks at me in her usual manner until I disappear. Oh, that scene's great. I love it. And not just because I'm a pervert, but because it brings up interesting questions about how, is it okay from Shiro's perspective? Is it okay from Saber's perspective because of Shiro's perspective? If Saber and Shiro are both okay with it, does that make it... It brings up interesting moral questions, and that's, you know... some of the best parts of thought-provoking. That's provoking thoughts is a good thing about visual novels, and that's a thought to be provoked. Therefore, sex scene A+. I mean, not sex, but you know, brain sex, not literal sex. Exactly. It's a well-built narrative scene. It just happens to, you know, play double fiddle and also give some eye candy. You know why you followed me, Dangalo. Or maybe you don't. Why I don't know. I think it might have been when I was playing card games. I still play card games sometimes, just not too often on stream. Dinner ends. I think it was a normal dinner table for everyone except me. As for me, I couldn't even sense the taste with the scene in the dressing room flickering in my mind. It's cold. The food or your brain? I opened the window by the porch. I was cooling my head off, but I'm done with that. I'll catch a cold if I keep doing this.
Shiro, ここにいたのですか?
Shiro, you were here. That's the problem with him seeing you, by the way, because he has a weird perception of the game. So, no, not the game, the you. You are the game. The Grail life's the game. He has a weird perception of you, and that will screw up his ability to function properly in the game of Grail War. Therefore, that's another issue as to why you should take issue, even if normally there would not be issue. Me taking games way too seriously is like my whole MO, Dangalo. It's like, you know, 007, 00... I don't even know what that analogy is, but you have a license to kill, you have a license to overanalyze. Shiro, you were here.
Saber, なんだよ。俺になんか言おうか。
Saber, what? Is there some business?
私ではなくシロにあるかと。いいのですか？夜はリンに魔術を教わるという約束だったはず
I
ですが。
believe you have one and not me. I thought you were to learn magic from Rin at night. Well, it's, yeah, that's right. Because you during the day, Rin during the night. Hopefully, I mean, that's good. Because if I was with you during the night, I'd probably just picture you naked the whole time and not concentrate. Hopefully we don't picture Rin naked the whole time instead. I mean, yeah, you know, male hormones is serious business. The implications of whether or not it's okay to be a pervert is serious business. Oh. Not wanting to, you know, have YouTube have its ways with me, with its whole, oh, you can't be targeted for kids is serious business. And you know, staying on that screen the whole time, showing the naked Saber is a way to be like, hey, I'm not for kids. We have a lady who is almost naked. Therefore, there's reasoning and logic and practicality. And even if there wasn't, that's okay because I am all of me. Oh. My IRL job has nothing to do with this, but also I make the hardcore Twitch bucks in the future when I become an affiliate. I hit my head. But also how I treat fictional characters and ogle them, not real characters, and fantasize, has nothing to do with how I actually act when I'm out in the real world. First of all, because of my hardcore antisocialness, so I would never act this open towards the female persuasion. But also, I'm not a dick. I would never talk this way with actual, with real women, unless they knew me well, unless they really knew me. Like, I wouldn't go up to random women and talk this way. I'm respectful. How I treat women in-game does not reflect my actual... Anyways, I hit my head.
すっかり忘れてた。サンキュー。今すぐ行ってくれ。
You know, it's just like how killing characters in games doesn't... It's like how video games cause violence. Just because, you know, you kill characters in games doesn't mean you kill people in real life. Just because I rape characters in games, not that I don't do that either. It doesn't mean I rape people in real... I don't know. There's an analogy there, I guess. But anyways, I totally forgot. Thanks, I'll go right away. I mean, sometimes I do talk dirty with my friends, even my female friends, but only when they're like, you know, really close friends. I don't whip this stuff out with acquaintances. I run into the outbuilding and go to the second floor. I knock on the door of the guest room that Tosaka occupies.
シロいいわよ。ちょっと今手が離せないから勝手に入って。
Sure, it's fine. Don't have my hands free at the moment, so just come on in. Oh, is this going to be a double whammy? Is she going to be, like, in her nightdress because she's changing? Maybe she's mid-changing from one to the other, and she doesn't care either, maybe? Or she does care and wants me to see to compete with... Or she doesn't care. I think it's hard to talk about a game with someone. Yeah, I used to have that problem where, like, it depends on the person. But what I came to the conclusion of, I did have a problem before talking with associates about games and anime, and I generally don't try to bring that up too much at work because, like, you know, I don't want to make things too awkward in case they're not into it, and I'm like, are you into this? And they say no. But with people in general, I've come to realize that if they're not into games and anime, then, like, why would I even want to be their friend anyways? I mean, that might be a little forward, but... You know, if I say, hey, do you like games? And they say no, I mean, I can just walk away at that point and not associate anymore. But I understand that. I am something of an antisocial person as well. Though I do feel I've gotten a lot better in recent times. It's fine, I don't have my hands free at the moment, so just come in. Tosaka's voice comes back, somehow without composure, and she's in her room, which means she may be training. She may be changing into hardcore battle gear, and she may not care that much because she thinks more about the Grail War. But she does think about me, and she wants me, but it's also subconscious, though not as subconscious. Talking about video game and Twitch stuff at work is definitely weird. Trying to explain Twitch to someone who doesn't know it is wild. Tosaka has something like a jewel in her hand, a syringe in the other hand, and a handkerchief in her mouth. Okay, this is all kinds of weird. What is she? Injecting magical stuff into her veins to prep her for the magic training? Okay, so she isn't naked, but it is an unnormal scene. Okay, I normally don't do this, but I'm only working on 1 glass of water right now, or maybe I ran out of all my water because the Saber scene made me all sweaty. I'm gonna BRB real quick. Tosaka, oh shit, we're getting high on those drugs. I've been watching some Breaking Bad recently. I'm about halfway through the show. Oh shoot, you gotta get that blue meth. Yup. What are we doing? Tosaka, too much clothes. When come off when? Anyways, kids, don't do drugs. Yes, okay. Don't do drugs, kids. Just fantasize about women being naked. Okay. Yeah, so real quick. Ooh, this works. This save screen has no music playing. I can use this as my new prep screen. Anyways, I'm going to BRB real quick Wow. Oh, still no drop frames. Yes, we didn't mention any of the hardcore sexual action. I mean, not sexual, but you know, BRBM. I have to get some water and stuff. Right. So, what are we doing? Right, we're playing a video game. Drugged up Rin, the best save screen. Anyways. Tosaka has something like a jewel in her hand, a syringe in the other hand, and a handkerchief in her mouth. Right, just have to check something. We're good. Moving on.
質問していいかな
Can I ask Tosaka what's with the handkerchief and the drugs? I mean, is this magic drugs? If you're giving yourself magic drugs, when do I get magic drugs? Because, I mean, I think I need them more than you do. It's much more safe, I would assume, than creating a constant thing in my back and messing it up or whatever I have to do.
待って、今日のドラマはこれで終わりだから。
I'm so glad I have voices on for this. Full phone. Offer phone. Let me try to translate that. Hold on. I'll be done. Ooh, I think I'm good at this. Just take away the F's and the ths. Hold on. I'll be done. This is tough. I'll be done here with... Oh, okay, this is getting awkward. Nope. I give up. I can't translate the rest of this. Hold on, I'll be done with this in a second. I don't know. Saying that, Tosaka puts the needle into her arm. She draws blood out of herself. Magic blood. Ooh, is she gonna inject some of herself into me? Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to get into her this whole time, and this time she's gonna get into me, so it's gonna be reversed, but that'll let me have magic? Is this what we're doing? Are you getting some of your magic blood and giving it to me? Is this what's actually happening? That's my assumption. That'd be kind of giggity. I'll take it. I'll count it as foreplay. And taking the blood, she drips it one drop at a time onto the jewel and grasps the bloody jewel. Oh, it's going for the jewel. It's not going to me. Okay, never mind. Jealous of that jewel. Something like dizziness passes by? Dizziness? Like your dizziness or her dizziness? What is something like dizziness? I'm barely able to tell that it's the light of magical energy, but...
これだけやってもまだ3割か。やっぱり手持ちの9つだけでやっていかなくちゃダメみたいね。
Only 3/10 after this much. I guess I'll have to do with the 9 I have. 3/10. I'll have to do with the 9. Is 9 3/10? Which would make 10/10 28? Is that what we're saying? Tosaka slumps her shoulders and puts the stone. Is this the same thing where you saved up some of you used like half of your magical jewels on summoning Archer, and then you used up some more on fighting Saber stupidly? Is that what you mean by 3/10? Or something?
遠坂、約束通り教えを請いに来たんだけど。
Tosaka, I'm here for your lesson. As promised, nothing sexual about it. But first, I'm curious about what she looks like if she had a shower and what she was doing.
ええ、待ってたわ。昼間はセイバーと体の方を鍛えてたんでしょ。なら、夜は中身を鍛えないとね。
Yeah, I was waiting. You were training your body with Saber during the day, right? Yes. Then you should train what's inside during the night. Oh, right, what's inside? Right, I've just been doing the outside recently. It's just been, a form of outside. One could call it inside as well. Inside of what you would normally wear, but still outside. If you catch my taking your clothes off. Tosaka seems happy as she's more ready to teach. More than ready. More than ready. Not just more ready. More than ready. Saber said she wasn't any good at teaching, but I bet this one's the complete opposite. I don't think she's ever had to teach anyone, though, so even if she's theoretically got all the stuff down, doesn't mean she's gonna do any good. We'll see. No, putting that aside...
さて、 それじゃあ何から行こうか。確かシロは強化の魔術しか使えないって言ってたけど。
Well, what should we start with? I think you were saying you can only use the strengthening magic. Uh-huh. Can you fix that with drugs? Or am I misunderstanding?
いや、その前にちょっといいか。やっぱり気になる。
Actually, could I ask you something before that? I'm curious. About what?
遠坂さ、さっき何してたんだよ。
What were you just
注
doing?
射器を
It's
自分に刺すなんて
dangerous to use
危ないだ
needles
ろ
on yourself. Don't worry, it's magic needles. Right? Right? Right?
え、あれ？あれは魔弾を作ってただけよ。うちの魔術は力の流動と転換だからね。こうやって余裕があるときは自分の魔力をよそに移しておくのよ。
Hold on. I was just making magic bullets, not literal magic bullets like what Kiritsugu used way back when, right? The magics of my family are flow and conversion of power, so when I have enough to spare, I transfer my magical energy somewhere else. Oh, I see. So, like, when you said you had saved up a bunch of jewels to use, one example of those jewels you'd saved up, just now you saved up another one. Is that... Okay, I think I'm understanding. So, okay, you put your leftover magic into a jewel to use later. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, because when you take a long rest, you'll always get all your stuff back anyways. I mean, I don't know if this is D&D rules, but you get a lot of your stuff back anyways. So, if you can, like, transfer it to a jewel to use later, there is some sense to that. Okay, I understand. Magic 101 complete. Let's move on to Magic 102.
待ってくれ、その魔弾とか魔力を移しておくってなんだよ。
Hold on, what do you mean by magic bullet and transferring magical energy?
魔弾は魔弾よ。魔力のこもった弾。
Magic bullets are magic bullets. It's a bullet filled with magical energy, but not literally a bullet, right? Like a metaphorical bullet.
宝石は人の念が宿りやすいって聞いたことない？実際宝石は魔力を貯めやすいものなんだけど、うちの家系はさらに相性がいいみたいなのよね。
Haven't you ever heard that people's thoughts tend to go into jewels? In practice, jewels are easy targets to transfer magical energy into, but it seems my family is even more compatible with it than most. Okay.
魔力を込めるっていうのは、例えば今日一日何もしなかったら体力は余ってるでしょ？その余った分の力を宝石に溜め込んでおくの。
Gotcha. So I think you'd have a lot of those jewels if you do that like every day. I don't know if you can afford to do it every day, I'm not sure. Or maybe the jewels themselves cost money, or... Transferring magical energy, well, for example, you have excess strength left over if you do nothing for the whole day, right? I'm storing the excess power in the jewels. Okay, but do you, like, need to build that up over, like, a week? Or can you literally do that every day? That seems a little much. I mean, every day that you don't do anything, I mean. Feels like if you could do it every day, you'd have, like, hundreds and hundreds of jewels, and you seem to only have... What, 28? 9 left? Is that what you said? 9? Or did you just get a 9th? Or did you just get your 10th? Or if you just got your 9th, then that would... Anyways, math.
これを何日、何ヶ月、何年と続けて宝石自体を魔術にするのよ。
You keep on doing this for days, months, and years, and that turns the jewels themselves into magic. Uh-huh.
もっとも宝石自体にだってキャパはあるし、自分から離れた魔力なんてものは操れない。
But then, the jewels have limited capacities, and I cannot control magical energy outside me. Okay, so what's the point if it's outside you? I mean, the point is using the jewels because they contain it and are able to be used by you, correct?
宝石に込めた魔力っていうのは、あくまで大魔術を瞬間的に発動させるためだけのイグニッションに過ぎないけどね。
The magical energy inside the jewels is just an ignition to instantly activate a large-scale magic. Right, so it's not like you can use it on anything. You store a specific spell? Is that what you're doing? Like, uh-huh. When I use this, it will always be a fireball. You can't choose what it does? Is that right? I think that would make your D&D homebrew character a little more balanced if you had to choose the spell beforehand and you couldn't just whip out any extra spell on the fly.
要するに自分の魔力を宝石に込めてバックアップを取るってことか。
Backup! English. So you're putting your magical energy into the jewels as a backup? Is that a real Japanese word? Or is this like, is he inventing an... Hold on, I gotta do some Googling. Is that English to Japanese? English to Japanese? If I say backup. It's a real word! Bakuapu. Oh, nice. I learned a new Japanese word. Bakuapu. Okay, let me if I copy this and paste it in G-Show, what do they say? Sorry guys, sorry. I just, I mean, I'm upping my weeb levels recently, what with the Doki Doki Literature Club titles. Oh, that's all it says. Backup, generally in okay, it's generally computer terminology. I mean, in this, okay, well, I mean, technically, backup snapshot, backup snapshot, okay. Backup file, backup file. Oh, this is so easy. Backup route. Ooh, what's that for? Oh, okay. Backup battery. Backup system. Backup right. Backup. Ooh, this one uses kanji. That's weird. It goes from katakana into kanji. Backup denken. Interesting. Backup power supply. Backup denken. Backup set katalogu. Backup copy. Backup diskete. Okay, I'm sorry. What is that? Backup diskete? What the frick is backup diskete? Is that backup disk? Why is that one all of a sudden not just go backup disk? Anyways.
バックアップ近いけど違うっていうか使い捨てのリュックサックの中身を詰めてるだけよ
Backup? Close, but not quite. I'm just filling up a single-use disposable backup. It's not like you can put that and use anything with it when you run out of magic. It has to be a specific thing that you prepare in advance, I believe.
じゃあ一時的にハードディスクを増設してるって
Hard disco!
すごいな。それなら魔術なんて使いたい放題じゃないか。
So you mean you're temporarily expanding the hard disco? That's amazing. So you should be able to use as much magic as you want, in theory. Is that also a legitimate Japanese term? Last time, I promise. English to Japanese. Hard disk. Nice! Hard disk! It's a legitimate term! I'm learning so much Japanese today! By cheating! Because they're English words. That's the best part of learning Japanese, when you get to cheat. Hard disk.
ハードディスクあんたの言ってることはよくわからないけどそこまで便利なものじゃないわよ魔力は宝石に込めた時点でその宝石の属性に染まるから用途は限られてしまうわけだし
Hard disku? I don't know what you're talking about, but it's not that useful. The magical energy I put in the jewel is died in the jewel's attribute, so it's used to become limited. Aha. Died in the... Okay. So the jewel is a specific spell, is what you're saying, or it forces it to be a spell of the jewel's type. So it's focused. So maybe it doesn't have to be a particular spell, but it has to be like for example, it has to be a transmutation spell, or it has to be a necromancy spell, to again use D&D terms. That's an interesting idea.
それにしても驚いたな。魔力っていうのはそういう風に貯めておくこともできるものなんだ。
I see, but I'm surprised. I didn't know you could save up magical energy like that.
そんな便利なことなんで他の魔術師はしないんだろう。
Why don't other magi do something so useful? Well, Ren said that her family especially is good at it.
自分以外のものに魔力を貯めるっていうのは特殊なのよ
The ability to store magical energy in something outside yourself is unique.
シローの強化だって物に魔力を込めているってことでしょ通常ね魔力の通ったものは何らかの変化をしてその魔力を使い切ってしまうものなの
Even your strengthening is putting magical
魔
energy into
術の
something,
効果
right?
は瞬間であって永続じゃないでしょ
Normally, whatever you put magical energy into changes in some ways and uses up that magical energy. The effect of magic is instantaneous and not permanent, right? But her magic it's a permanent thing because of a special thing related to her.
でうちの家系はそうならないようにうまく宝石に魔力を流動させて永続的なものにしているんだけど他の魔術師だって自分の体になら同じようなことはできるわ
So my family does it in a way that isn't instantaneous, and we cleverly put magical energy into the jewel so that it's permanent. But other magic can do the same thing with their bodies. Their bodies. Okay, but it doesn't become permanent. So there's an advantage to this, but then you have things that are not advantageous that others have that are advantageous. It's interesting looking around the room for a second. You know, with stuff like, oh hey, like the room really looks Western-ish as opposed to the Eastern that, you know, would normally be the rest of the house. I wonder what these sheets are on the wall. Like we've got some kind of, you know, it's obviously written in some, it's hard to see, it's hard to focus on from this perspective, but it's possibly some fancy magic stuff or tests or reminders about how complicated things work. And it looks like she's got stuff ready to do magic or chemistry, magical chemistry. Like she's got some bottles and some little bowls with things in them, all ready to do a impromptu magical experimentation, which I guess that's sort of like, you know, key to who she is that the whole Holy Grail War and magic thing is something she has to do. Even if she doesn't like it, she feels it's her duty, and therefore she can't be slacking just because she's, you know, sleeping over at a boy's house. So she makes an impromptu station here, because if she doesn't, she'll lose her mind. And maybe losing her mind's a good thing, but, you know, obviously she wouldn't think of it that way.
それが魔術刻印。あらゆる魔術師が持っている魔術のバックアップじゃない。
That's the magic crest, the magic backup that all magi have. It always tickles my fancy when I hear that now. Although there's more English, like if you're really listening for it, you can hear more English than, because I used to think every now and then Japanese people would just say English words to be funny because they're speaking English, but no, there's a lot of English words that are generally imported there and used in proper Japanese, and sometimes you won't even notice because it sounds so weird to an English speaker, like that's not how the English word would be said, but when you think about it, yes, it does. Like, for example, I was listening to, just to give a random example, Fullmetal Alchemist opening 3. A lot of the time what I'll do is I'll look at anime openings, because they'll generally, if you can find them with having the Japanese and the English written at the same time, which helps you sound it out. And Fullmetal Alchemist opening 3, for example, Brotherhood specifically, has a lot of English words in there that I did not realize at all were English. But then when you read the text, it's like, yep, they're saying English, apparently. English, technically, but... Anyways, I guess there should be a distinction, right? There should be a distinction between actual English, like a word that actually Japanese people use a lot that just happens to be based from English, and then English that they're actually using as English. I guess the difference, what would it be? English and English. But one of them is spelt in English and one of them is spelt in Japanese. I guess that's the distinction. I don't know. Which, the way you would spell English, if you were spelling it in Japanese, is you would spell it I-N. Spelling it still in Romanji so we can differentiate. English would be I-N. It would have to start with E, because that's the E sound, is E-N, and then Ingu, so the G-U, R-I, Inguri Shu, and then S-H with the Y-U, Ingurishu, as opposed to English, which is E-N-G-R-I-S-H. And that would be the differentiation? I don't know. I'm just making up my own weird ways to differentiate things most people probably won't care about. That's the magic crest, the magic backup that all magi have.
魔術刻印。ああ、親が子供に譲るっていう秘伝の話だな。俺、それはないから、どうもピンとこないな。
Magic crest. Oh, you mean the secret that a parent hands down to their child. I don't understand too well since I don't have one.
ちょっと、あんた今なんて言ったの？
Wait, what did you just say? About which part?
いや、魔術刻印はないって言ったんだが、親父は持ってたみたいだけど、譲られはしなかった。
I said I don't have this magic crest thing. I think father had one, but he never gave it to me. Dash, dash, dash. Illya did say that to be a master you needed a magic crest. Did Rin think that Shiro had one for the same reason? In which case, maybe the reason he's special is because of the circle that was drawn in his shed to force him into the war. My thinking... A while back, I made the theory that Illya is the one who set up that circle in his shed. The thing that led to Saber's summoning in the first place. I am now starting to rethink. Because, based on the earlier scene with Illya, and how she seems a little more innocent and like she didn't know all of the things. I'm not abandoning the idea that she set it up yet, but I'm thinking it's less likely now. And I'm starting to think, I don't know, other ideas would be maybe Kirei. Maybe Kirei has this big master plan that involves Shiro being the master, and he set it up on purpose. I'm not sure. That's one option. Or Shiro went back in time and made himself part of the Grail War by setting it up. I joked about that earlier, but maybe that legitimately happens. Or maybe Shiro unconsciously accepted the magical crest by putting his hand on whatever that magical thing was in the garage. Maybe that was Kiritsugu's way of passing it on, if somehow, maybe, possibly. if you, I don't know. I'm just thinking less and less that it was Illya that set it up, because I feel like if it was, certain things wouldn't fully make sense. Like, I feel like Illya would know more about Shiro's life than she seems to, given how she wanted to know things about Shiro's life, and she asked Shiro as if she didn't know things. Now, she could be playing a long con, but she seems to put on a bit of an innocence aura and not hide things too much to that extent. I mean, maybe she'll hide things, but I don't think she would lie in such a way. Therefore, I'm thinking it unlikely, less likely. Not impossible, but I'm thinking more and more that maybe somebody set up the magical thing in his shed and that somebody is not Illya. That was my best guess, and my next best guess is Kirei, but even that has holes. Things to think about. The fact that Shiro himself has not thought about it much throughout this entire narrative. Oh, did we really disconnect just now? Did we really disconnect just now, OBS? I was just about to finish streaming. Really? You're really gonna be a rude like that? Are you back yet? I'm just about to stop. Are you back? Come on! Are you back? Come on! Hello? Ohayou gozaimasu. Let me make a save here real quick. Really? I was literally just about to stop. Anyways. Save. Derp at the end? That's just silly. Could you not wait 5 seconds? That's just silly. Gosh dang it. Silly. Save. I'm not sure how much you guys missed just now about my thinking on the whole, I think the stream died. Yeah, it did for a second. I'm not sure how much you missed on my talking about, I guess I'll check before the next stream, because I'm just about to finish, but I guess I'll check before the next stream starts how much you missed, because I'm not sure how much exactly you missed, but that'll be happening on Thursday, because Tuesday's Majora, Wednesday's Doki. But yeah, basically what I'm saying, I'm basically going to be stopping for now, I think. I think that OBS disconnect was a sign from the heavens. But essentially what I was thinking about was the idea that Illya is not the one who set up Shiro's thing, because I've been thinking for a long time, been pretty convinced that Illya snuck in and drew the thing to put Shiro in the Grail War, because Illya seems to know a lot. And I think Illya does know a lot, but I don't think she knows a lot enough to do that, because she's starting to seem more blunt in the sense that she doesn't hide how she feels. I don't think she would have snuck in and done that to make Shiro part of the Grail War. I don't think she even realized Shiro was going to necessarily be part of the Grail War. I think she just wanted to kill Shiro because she freaking has resentment. Whereas I thought she wanted to kill Shiro in a respectful, honorable way. I'm starting to think she wanted to kill Shiro and have fun with it just because she thought it would be fun, because she had a lot of resentment from her whole father thing. And so she didn't necessarily want to kill Shiro nobly or anything. She's just a blunt person who doesn't... Essentially what I'm getting is that I don't think Illya would have done that. And so I'm thinking, like, maybe it was Kirei is my top thought, or maybe Shiro time traveled and set himself to be part of the Grail War, or maybe some third party I'm not even thinking of set Shiro to be part of the Grail War. Which maybe the Matos did, maybe Sakura did, maybe she put that in the shed. My thoughts are now opening up again, because I'm thinking less and less likely that Illya did it now that we're learning her character more, and based off her interactions. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop for now. The second section of the stream, for today's stream, is going to be stupidly short, but I mean, I'm probably, yeah. Oh, 118 drop frames, 2.5%. That's probably a good thing to stop. So I'm gonna say see you guys next time. Still don't have an outro phrase, blah blah blah. Next time on Thursday we'll think more about Naked Saber, but we'll also think more about magic training and properly, training in the magic department. So yeah, see you guys next time. Stop recording.